Okay, my camera wasn't starting before. One thing I'd like to mention before I begin, Zeta, Zeti, grandfather. 2482 are the exact numbers of the piano setup. From left to right of the piano, the 24th key is center C, where the 25th key is D, D, C, C, D. Where from right to left, the 28th key from right to left on the piano is a D, but the 29th is a C. 2-9 is the departure, it is the takeoff, it is the coming in of the birth of the two worlds of 9 and 9. I is now in both worlds. When you see, the number system is, you have to say, well, what happened? Well, at number 29, this happened. At number 19, 1 connects to 9, bringing the spirit towards the soul. The soul is known as 4 and 6, not because I want it to be 4 and 6, because I went to the racetrack, and the 4 horse is yellow and the 6 horse is yellow. When you want to recreate the two of them and bring them together, you will now create by bringing 3 and 7 or 7 and 3 together as you bring Earth towards Uranus. That's the bow tie you connect, and I will show you this in my papers. 7 connects everything. It's a link. The reason 3 and 7 connect then is the law of averages inside the roulette wheel. Okay, everything connects to number 37, 3 and 7. Inside Lo Shu, where number 4 and 6 is replaced by 3 and 7. Where 4 is, it's now 3. And where 7 is, where 4 is, it's now 3. And where 6 was, it's now 7. Uranus replaces Saturn. Earth replaces Mars because it plays in man. Is when you see number 9 in Lo Shu is replacing 2 Venus between the two worlds of 9. Inside Neptune, it's now replacing the one spirit. Okay, that's how Lo Shu works. Don't forget, Lo Shu is squared this way. When we take the cube and we turn it on its angle, the one position actually has one row, one area. 1379 is what it is, but in Lo Shu, if you turn it on an angle, it's 2468. 24, 28. One thing I want to show you is where 7 comes from. 1, 2, 3, 2, E, E. This is the candelabra. On this side it's 6, on this side it's 4. Here's one light, and here's one light. I'm only one over here. Although I'm assuming that the golden light of the golden boy that passes through the moon, because of the 3 worlds that they intercept to bring into who we are, gold, club, moon, the diameter and the numbers of these 3 are identical when you bring them into the lower faxation. When I say lower faxation, into the lower numbers. Okay, if you want to bring moon into the higher numbers, it creates the gateway automatically. First, we have to count one at a time. 57 times 3 equals to 150, plus 3 by 7 is 21, is 171. 7 and 1 is 8, 7 and 1 is 8, 88. 7 times 1, 7 plus 1, 77. The Christ is now connected to 88. 77 and 88 is 55. 7 and 8 is 15, is 6, is 66. You now have 6, 7, and 8. And inside of Chaldean, UVW is 666. Moon, 171, plus 5 and 7 is 12, is 183. Church, C and H, is part of that 183. 3 by 8 is 24 Stanley Cups of the Montreal Canadiens. 3 and 8 is the 11, the suit we wear. We get a suit to wear this, but one gets a brain, one gets a body. Here we get 3 and 3 is 6, and 1 is 7. Here we get 2 and 2 is 4, and 1 is 5. No matter what you do to these dice, what do you want to do? Whichever way I take these dice, I will guarantee you to hold and block out 2 numbers. And the 2 numbers I block out, no matter what I do, no matter how I move, in each hand will be the same numbers. I'm going to show you opposite numbers on the bottom. And it's going to be 7. And I'm going to show you opposite numbers on the top. 7. I didn't want to do it that way. That was too perfect. What I'm saying is you see this 3? On the opposite side of this 3, right, is a 4. It's automatically going to be 7. Automatically, I have 14 around, and I have 7 up and down, no matter what. Okay, no matter what I do, I cannot change it. That's the way it looks. If I'm adding it up this way, it's different. You see the high point and the low points? I'm not going to give it any numbers. There's going to be 4 around and 2 up and down. 4 and 2, 2 and 4, 2 and 4. It's always going to be like that. Okay? And like I've showed before, okay, you see this over here? Inside the middle, there's 4 here, there's 4 here, there's 4 here, and there's 4 here. Inside the middle of these 3, the average will be 3. 1, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4. 4, 6, 8, 5, 6, 7. 5, 7, 9, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 7, 6 is the size of the diameter of the moon. It also stands for gold, and it also stands for cloud, which drags together 1/38 of the word moon. But moon at 1/38, M4. N5 brings in the sun. 4 and 5 bringing the IT system. O and O is 6 and 6. So you got M4 plus 5 is 9. 6 and 6 is 21. Makes the cube out of the number of the moon. 21, the cube of the moon, plus 57 equals 78. Let's say it's the queen. Why is it the queen? Because 13 plus 78 is 91. Add up 1 to 13, the AC energy, 1, 1, and 3. Okay, 1, 1, and 4 is Abraham. That's connecting the 3 pigs together. 1 pig, 2 pigs, 3 pigs. That's right, the 3 little pigs. The other side is the other one. 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down. Inside the up and down, you can put a cube. Don't you see it on the Price is Right how they do it? All right, what's next? So we were talking about here. Here's your 4 and your 7. Here's your 4 and your 5. Here's your 4 and your 7. 5, 7, 7, 5. This is the Hebrew New Year. Now, when I go to synagogue, this is in front of the man. This is in front of the woman. So right away, I assume that if 5 is in front of the woman, they automatically get 7. In order to balance it out, if 7 is in front, they automatically get 5. So what are we talking about? That's right. We're talking about Jupiter and Uranus. But if we're counting from 9 backwards, as Pluto is the first planet, okay, then the 7th planet would actually be Earth. We get Earth and we get Jupiter. Jupiter and Earth, you know the 3 and the V that you put together as a heart? That's what it is. Earth heart to Jupiter. 1 and 9, do you remember what we talked about in low shoe I was talking about? Shoes on the other foot. Low shoe, 4 and 6. 6 and 4. 1 and 9, here's your 1 and 9 right here. Your 1 goes in the center and your 9 goes in the center, bringing the light. 1, light 7, and for Hanukkah, we got all our candles lit. But we only had for 1 day, and it lit for all the days, because 1 lights all. 1 equals to 34. 6 equals to 52. We get 77 out of 1 chandelier. 3 by 34 is 102, plus 7 is 109. That's everything. But wait, 6, 5, 5. That's 16. 16 is the letter P. It brings in the light. 1 for 6. 16, 1 and 6. Look at it again. 0 is 6. N is 5. E is 5. 5, 10. And 6 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 3 and 4 is 7. 5 and 2 is 7. You get 1, 5, and 6. Bring me the light. 7, 7, 7. All 3 7s and 1 bringing on the candles. 34 by 3 is 102, plus 7 is 109. 102 plus 16 is 118, and we count up 1 to 18. We get a total of 171. Do you remember before how we lit 171, the gematria, connecting the piano, 1,000 rings together? 1, 3, and 3, because there's 3 on this side and 3 on this side, is 2 and 2. 2, 7, 2. 7, 27. This would say 7 by 2. 7 plus 2 is 9 and 14 equals 23. This is the number 23. 23 equals 46. 46 again, 4 and 6 from light 1 of the menorah. The golden angel. Anytime you see R and O or R and O or O and R, it's always gold in French. The aura, the Nora Norman. Okay, there was a song. We must, you must, I must, not me, just me, not you, but I must. I must always reflect on everything that goes in front of me. Deja vu. Okay, what is next? We did alphabet, A and I. There was something I wanted to go over. I want to go over the keys on the keyboard one more time. The keys on the keyboard one more time. Okay. On number 1, and even on the phone, there's an exclamation point. Turn it upside down, it says I. The number 2 is asking in both areas, in blue and in white, where are you at? The 3 by 3 shows you the pound key because man is in creation. 47 plus 3 is 50. We give 3 to everything. Screw 1 because 1 is inside of 3. If I take this 1 and put it inside of 3 and turn 3 around, it becomes a butterfly. Okay? 1 is everywhere you look. 1 divides, okay, and makes everything double. 1 makes everything double, twice as much, and I'm going to show you in a minute what 1 does. In the 4 quarters to $1. What is 4 quarters? Well, 4 and 6, where you wear the hat, okay, and the hat goes on the A and E in French, which is numbers 2 and 4 equals to 6. 4 times a quarter, 52. 52 is Earth, number 6. 5 is the percentage sign. When you draw it properly, it'll look like a 6 and a 9. 7 because and what? It's asking you and which star of in between 8 and 9. Because everything lives. You see the circle? That's where life is. You see those circles? That's where life is. You see the circle? That's where life is. You see the cut corner? Okay? Because that's a continuation of the train. There's not 1. There must be 3 of all of these, if not 4 of all of them. 3 of certain things and 4 of others. Right, Messer? Okay, so here's where we go with your E. Number 5, the E. The percentage sign is in the 5. The star is in the 8 because it's both worlds. The hat, okay, and I'm going to show you a design after where the hat comes from. The cat's life and the dog pound is on number 3. Gamma, 3 and everything. If 47 is time and 3 is everything, that gives you 50-50. Because when you split up the center, this way, and this way, and this way, creating the octagon, 3, 3, 3, and 3 by 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5, you end up with your 4 times 1.5 equals to your 12, brings you back to A and B. But now A and B are together as 12. The 12th letter in the alphabet is now an L. Before it was A and B, but now it's an L, and in French, L says her. Gaia has come to life inside of all of us. The electronics have built Earth so that we can be daddy's little girls. Inside all of us is Gaia. Now, okay, now we're going to go to Saturn. Of course it turns. It's Uranus that turns us. Uranus. ATR, rat. It's a rat sun. Reverse the rat sun around, you get Saturn. Saturday or Sunday. The Sunday, we're not going to get around to that. Okay? Ace 0, 3, 2, ace, 5, 4, ace. This is what I want to get. When you take 5 and 4 and put it together, you end up with 9. 5 and 4 is 9. Here's the 4 inside 5, and you got 9 again. You add up 2 and 4 together. Okay? If you put 2 and 4 together, this is what happens. Here's your 2, here's your 4, you end up with 8. But it ends up with the heart. This letter in Hebrew says heart. 2 and 4, which is the 9 lives of the cat. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 and 4 creates the 8. So therefore, it tells you exactly what it does. It does not lie. We take 1 and we put it in the center of 2. There's many ways to do with 1 and 11. If you want to get the borderline of 1, you put a 1 on the left and a 1 on the completely right. That will be the 11, because the 11 has a space in between to cut everything in half. 11 is always split between 2. So anytime you see 11, you know it's split between 2. You put 2 in between, 1 in between 2, you end up with this figure over here. Can you see what it is? It's a backwards A and a backwards 9. If you put 3 against 1, you look like you have a 3 and an 8. If you put 4 and 1, do you remember this little tail you see on the 1 all the time? It remains 4 again. Is that the way we're going to do it? Or do we put the 4 this way and we put the tail of the 4 over here? It's questionable. It also turns into L and H, which says the 20 world, DNA world. You put 1 in between 5, you get 96. You get 1 in between 6, you get 86. You put 1 in between 7, it actually turns into a, did I do that right? It actually turns into a 4, or it turns into something where you're going around the corner, but I have this somewhere else. You take 8 and put 1 between 8, you got 88. You put 1 between 9, you've got 98. I'm just showing you the illusion of things that we see, okay? When you put 2 and 3 together, you get a backwards A. Isn't that what we were looking at? The backwards A over here? Or is it the backwards A? We have seen the backwards A. For those of you who know where it is and I didn't find it, I'm very sorry. That was the backwards A. Okay? When you put 2 and 6 together, depending on how you put them together, whether you mark it small or mark it large, 2 and 6 will create your 8. But if you flip it up and create it on a bigger scale, 2 and 4, sorry. 2 and 4 will now create 2 and 9, will now create 9 and 8, will now create 29 or 62. Right over here, 62. Okay? It also at the same time creates A and O. Depending on how you want to look at it, but I use all my lines on both sides. This is A, this is O. 1 O says 10. Here is 25. When you put 25 on top of each other, you end up with an 8. 2 and 5, which is 7, equals 8. 2 and 6, when it's together, will equal 8. Okay? 2 and 5, when it's together, let me see this. Something is wrong here. Oh, no, it's right. Okay. Here's the 5, and here's the 2. Here's the 2, and here's the 6. So it creates 8. 2 and 6 creates 8, and it is 8. It doesn't tell a lie. The confusing one when it comes to 2 and 7. Everybody knows 2 and 7 is inside 1 and 8, which is inside of 9, but 9 is the second level because there is no 8. 8 is a middle. There's no more than 7, okay? Now I'm going to try and explain it, okay? Here's a 6. You see it? Now if I turn it this way, it's a 6. That'll create 8, but you'll get 6 this way, 2, 2, and 2. You'll get 2 on the left, 2 in the middle, 2 on the right. Then when you put the spirit in, you get 2, 3, 2. That's just the way it goes. It's not me. It's the way it goes. What does it mean? It's part of the creation numbers that are hidden from us, okay? So here's back to number 7. Do you see what number 7 does? Take a good look, okay? I didn't show it well. Maybe I have it on the next page. No, I don't. I have it on this page. I'm going to show it to you. Do you see the Budweiser? You see the tie? The Budweiser bow tie? Let me see if I can block this. You see the Budweiser bow tie that's in there? Right? You see that? Oh, it's 4, 7, 3, 6, 9, 11. That's what 2, 7 gives you in this scenario. Here I did it again. It also creates the Z, in which your Z, once you put your Z, all you have is this piece over here. This piece over here is the same thing, but it reaches in between the lines. It goes all the way along the lines, so it has a different reasons for its usage. Okay? Let me go on to the next page. The same thing when you put 3 and 4 together. 3 over 4 equals 9. Or if you extend the 3 over 4, can you see the H and the L that come together one more time? This is the 4. I put a 4 in here on this side, and I put the 3. A big 3 and a small 4 came together, or it creates 98. You put a 3 and a 5 together, it creates a 9. You put a 3 and a 6 together, it creates an 8. You put a 3 and a 7 together, look at it. It becomes a 7 and the letter A over here. Okay, you see the upside down, F. The upside down F, the 3 and the 7 create the illusion of an F7. When you do it the other way, okay, if you take a good look, it's an ace that goes on top. It's an upside down ace that goes on top. It fills right in against the side. We have 3 and 9 makes 9. 3 and 8 makes 8, because anything with 8. 4 and 5, okay? If we put a 4 and a 5 together, it creates 9. 9 creates 9. We put 4 and 6 together, it creates 8. Then the last part of the board is the same thing. It gets a little confusing when you work 4 and 7. 7 is really confusing on how it goes together. So this is one of them from, it's a corner. 7 seems to cut off of a corner. At the same time, this 4 and 7, okay, because it's too large. I shouldn't show you this one. Here's the 7, here's the 7. But if you really want to know what you can do with 4, 7, and 1, all you have to do is take 1 and 7, and 1 and 7 will create 4. So if 1 and 7 create 4, what does 2 and 8 get? 2 and 8 will get 2. Excuse me. 1 and 7 gets 4. 2 and 8 get 2. And 3 and 9, let me show you, and there's a reason I'm showing you this. 2 and 8 equals 8, and 3 and 9 equals 9. So you get 4, 8, 9. These are your numbers in a row. Why? Because the 1 and 7 over each other will create a 4. When you put 2 over 8, it remains at 8. When you put 3 over 9, here's your 3, and you block your 9, you get 9. 4 times 89 is 356. That's the culling of the white wolf in the creation of man, which has something to do with man's head. The white wolf could be his white bones inside his bodies. Okay? 4 by 8 is 32, or 48 says space. 4 by 8 is 32, 270, 288. Let me mark that down. 4 by 8 is 32. 32 times 9 equals 270 and 18. There you go, 288. 288. 64, 128. 128 is one part of memory. 128 times 4 is 512, which is MB memory. If you want to see the 512 now, here it is. Divided memory is right here. 512. Take a good look. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and do this properly if I could. You see this over here? It's dividing by the two sides. You end up with 512 memory, and this is just flipped upside down over here on this side. I want to just do something real quick. When you put queen, jack, queen, king backwards, Q and N, 5 and 8, that is the matrix energy. It is the speed of the matrix. It is the silver. It is the water. I don't know why everything has to do with water, hydro and electric. Here's 3 and here's 5, water. 5 and 5 is the energy, but 5 times 5 is 25, plus 10 is 35, water energy. It's all the same thing. The queen is communication, water energy. And when you look at the queen inside the deck of cards, they all have flowers. They all have both their eyes, okay? Nibiru. R and U, the word rust, okay? When water meets metal, we get rust. So what happens? I cannot tell you. But N and U equaling 35 again is electric company. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals 5. 1 plus 4, 1 times 4 equals 9. 9 and 5. 1 eye, 2 eyes, put the 2 together. You have 2 round eyes, and the 1 dot in the center they put up here, that round dot ends up to be your 9 from your 2 separate eyes. 1 spirit, 1 soul. It goes in and out, and now you can see with one whole vision. You have part of a vision, another part of the vision, you put them together. One other thing I wanted to mention, that on the cube that I was showing before, okay, and on the moon, time or Cronus. Cronus is time, okay? When you read Cronus backwards, it says our time, okay? 7 is always facing up. There's always 4 sides around. Before I get into here, I'm going to show you. 7 is always facing up. 3 on this side is 4 on the other side. 6 on this side is 1 on the other side. 5 on this side is 2 on the other side. 7, 7, 7. Time is up. Now let's count. When I take this and I show you the reflection of this, it's in the center. Nothing disappears. This is the only dice where nothing disappears. That means it is the light. When you bring the 5 and 2, that is the earth. 9, 5, and 2, or 9 times 25 is 225. That is the OO inside the moon, of which your M is first and your N is last. M, okay, is number 4. Is 12, is actually 16. M will bring you the light in the short count, okay, in Pythagorean. I can use it in Chaldean, but I'm working quick here to get things done. If I did work M in Chaldean, is it still number 4? Anyways, M times 3 is 39, plus 4 is 43. DC time inside the M of moon. N, number 14 times 3 is 42, which is part of 86, which is man's time, his head, his noggin. 3 by 40, 3 times 14 is 42, and 5 is 47 is time. Do you want me to do it again? N inside the letter N, 3 times the value of N, 14 equals 30. 3 times 14, which equals to 42, plus 1 plus 4 is 5, equals to 47 again. In time, time is 47, moon is 57. When you take the moon, do you want to see how the block, the cube works so perfectly? If moon is 57, 5 times 7, 5 plus 7 equals 35. Electric company, plus 12 is 5 and 7 equals 47. It's so perfect. If you take 5775 in time and you multiply it by the 13 moons, you end up with 75,075,000 moons. 75657, 7 and 5 is 12, 12, 24 hours. Alpha, beta, father, mother. It will always come back. It's a perfect system, especially if you understand every single number, the primaries of each number. The primaries start as a number. Numbers are positions, areas. It's an empty space until something ends up there. Then it has a value. Now you work the value. We give it a simple count. Now you work it into any count you wish. Does it have 3 syllables in it? Does it have 6 letters in it? There's so many different kinds of combination. That's why I'm always adding up 6 every time I come to a 10. Because in certain relationships, it should be 6. So in the word time, which is part of the moon, time equals 47 in the short count. T is the 20th letter. Automatically put 1 6. I could put 2 6 because 20 is actually 10 and 10. So what I would get at a time 47, add 12 is 59. E-I-E-I-O. 59 minutes, 59 seconds of time. If I only add 6, I get electric company. If I don't add anything, I still have 47. But like I said, 3 by 47 is 120, plus 21 is 141. 4 times 1, 4 plus 1 is 5, 4, 5, 4. You have Jupiter. You have the sun. 5 by 4, 5 plus 4 equals 20. Plus 9 equals 29. It's the IT system. It's the electronic system. We're going to get back to when we take these cubes and turn it upside down. Okay? TH is what we end up with at the end. Let me show you how we work this out. We had 3 by 14 is 42 plus 5. Wait a second. That would be 48. Oh, yes, plus 5 equals to 47 equals to time. This comes right off the moon. M-O-O-N. Take out the 2 O's in the middle of moon. Put M and N together. That's your 72. That's your red time. That's your time ticking. Okay? It's just so funny. I'm at 27 minutes now. So when you have M and N, it's 27. Times 3, 81 is Venus. Plus 9 is 90. That's your creation. 0, get 6, you got 96. 9 by 6 is 54. You get the IT system again, electric company. You're born into electric company. Wow, I should have woken up a long time ago. Now we come back over here. We add 3 onto the 47 equals to your 50. Becomes 56. Now you have time. Because the 3 is lost. It's part of the division. Okay? Creation is part of the division. See 3 and 4 inside 1? Inside the word 1 is Earth and Mars. Neo, come Neo Anderson. Enzo, or the end zone. I'm going to show you one more thing I was doing yesterday. I don't know where it is, and I'm sorry to bring this up now. So let me go one more step forward here. Because this is, okay, here. Zion. Turn the N sideways, okay? Z-I-O-N in one word, okay? The I zone, R. When you tear it apart, it looks like 1 and 2. I-ton, T-O-N, ton, tone, note. Zion, okay, the Z, okay, next to this letter actually looks like 2014. Olive or life, 4, 4, 3. 0 becomes 6, 4, 4, 3. 1, 2, 6, 4, 4, 3. 2, if you, this is a little confusing. I really shouldn't have brought this out here. But 2 is a Q, okay? Inside the R, because of the design, it says 1, 2. It actually means 1 Q, 1 crown, 0, 4, 4, 3. Because the 2 in cursive writing is a Q, okay? That's why they call it cursive. Inside the roulette, okay, this is the way it goes. The average is 37. That is the average of the entire numbers of 666. The average between two sides equals to 37. It becomes the total numbers of 8, 2, and 3. 8 times 2 is 16, times 3 is 48. 48 plus 13 equals 61, equals to the light. When you multiply and add this together, or if you want to subtract it, 1 minus 6 is 5. 1 times 6 is 6, equals to 11, equals to 2. But when you multiply it together, it becomes 13 and 48. Excuse me, sorry. 8 minus 2 minus 3 equals 3. This will be 51 and 61. Mars, light. Light me up is what it actually says. If we divide two sides where we get half and half, you get 3 parts here and you get 3 parts here. This divided part is 90, this is 45, and this is 45, giving you your 180. But the reality is when you split something in half, you lose the center. So you must minus the center and use the center in its own equation. Space lost, space used. Let me look at one more thing. There is something else that's really not so relevant. The 7 dwarfs. The letter U. When you write the letter U, if you actually come back to itself, it's O-U-O. Okay? I don't want to say anything about it. 8 and 10 can say 8 chen. It holds. Means it holds. If we really write 8, the word 8, okay? The word 8 and the 8th letter in the alphabet says hate and height. Now, as the K letter, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. H is the Q letter, okay? It really doesn't say much here, and it really doesn't say much here is the Q letter, okay? But now we have to remember the last 8 is the Z. It says Zate. Can we use anything with the Z or the Q? This is the easiest one to use is only the H inside this because it becomes the 8th letter. The 8th letter is H. Hate and hate. O equals A and E, which is 1 and 5. O equals J and N, and O equals S and W. Okay, they just do because W is the 23rd letter, 14th letter, and 5. 5, 5, 5, 1, 1, 1. 42, 66, 72. 42, 66, 72. Add on the 15, 87. The Queen's light. They bring in that light, the passage of holding of the torch. Let's say the Statue of Liberty. That's holding the torch inside your head. But your jewels have been manipulated. The only 2 letters that can do this are the O and the U. So there's a lot more to actually think of. But inside O and U together, it brings out your memory. O and U equals 36, creation of 3 and 6. It brings your memory out. Now, do I have to explain this? 6, 6, 6, 6 inside of this one. Let's not count this one. We have 6, 6, 6. Take away 6. Here is 81. That would be Venus. Take away this one. Okay, 72. That would be Venus and Uranus. Take away 15 is 72. I'm not really sure where I can go with 72, but 72 is part of red. I don't know where to go. But you take away each one of them. Every single number, when you add and take away, will say something else. I cannot explain to anybody because all I do is play with the numbers until they talk to me. Okay? I can tell you right now, but in my dreams, the rains have come. When the rains come, you hold the reins of a horse. When the rains come, somebody is in charge. When the rains come, times change. Speak to all the times that rains have come, and you will see what has happened in life. U is B and A. U is K and J. U is T and S. Time heaven. 21 is part of your blackjack. 84 the total. This is part of Pluto. You come in Pluto. Pluto for me is a doll. You come through the passage inside a doll. O and U. O and U equals 36, which is part of 512 memory. 36 plus 3 is 39, plus 6 is 45. 45 is the fox, means you're all the numbers inside of you. How do we get this? 360 is 10 times, and 152. Is that what it is? I have to figure it out. 360 is 36 times 10 is 360 plus 152. You see how perfect it is? 360 is how it comes inside of you, because the completion of 1 is inside 10, because you are the image of the empty space of who you are is actually all a whole of you, but it only can become whole when it reaches 10 and not at 1, because it's the light that passes inside of you, inside the whole, the holiness inside of you that enlightens you. So that 1 can never do anything. 1 and 9 have to be removed, because you become the speaker of 1 and 9 inside the Venus world. 1, 9, and 2 equals to 12. 1 and 2 is 3. You are the creation. So therefore, let's count all the other numbers. Let's not count 2. Let's not count 1. Let's not count 10. And let's not count 9. 8 is dividing world because it plays in pool. You can count it. You don't want to count 7 because it's the dividing gate. You can count 4 and 6. Makes you that 10 that you are. That 10 of all 10s will always pay 2 to 1 when you play the game of craps inside the casino. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Let's just say, see where it says B? See, it says I am 3 is who I am. Thank you. I am just what? Spill it out? I can't. I don't remember. Thank you for watching this video. There is one thing to say. I respond to everybody. If anybody ever writes anything to me, I will answer you. Right now in the history of Mr. Tackpans, there's not enough people out there that are actually saying anything to me. Therefore, I have a lot of time. The thing is, I may not see it. I'm not sure where it is. They make everything so confusing lately that I can't seem to find anything when somebody leaves me something. So don't ever think that I haven't left you something. And if you really want to get in touch with me, my email is the letter. Let me mark this down. I have a Gmail at mrtackpans@gmail.com. And here's my other email address. TACPANS@msn.com. Not that I think that I'm going to get popular by advising anybody about this, but I'm just trying to be the kind person that I think I am. Thank you for watching this video.